What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So tomorrow's games, we have 2 games, and then we have 3 games Sunday and 1 game Monday. This is new. They didn't used to do this, or at least I don't remember. Let me know if I'm wrong. But they didn't used to have Monday night games for the wild card, but hey, I'll take it. So the 2 tomorrow games going to be the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. Browns, of course, Myles Garrett. Tons of talent on defense, and even on the offense. Has a good bit of talent. Amari Cooper, I'm not sure if he's going to play. Yeah, plenty of talent on that side of the ball as well. Nick Chubb, of course, out for the whole season. Houston Texans are not completely devoid of talent. Nico Collins, liked him coming out of Michigan. He's really grown up. They're probably going to be without their other wide receiver, Tank Dell, I believe. He's not. I don't think he's going to play. But you got Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama, the star-studded defensive lineman, pass rusher extraordinaire. They've got C.J. Stroud, unbelievable quarterback. They've got some talent. Dalton Schultz, former Cowboy from Stanford, tight end. They've got enough talent on that team to beat the Browns in Houston. Not giving my picks until tomorrow, but then you got the Dolphins and Chiefs. It's supposed to be really cold there, maybe in the negative degrees. So apparently Patrick Mahomes says the Chiefs' offense is going to wake up. And how's that going to happen? You don't have the talent to wake up. I'm sorry, but I don't see that happening. But generally in these games, the inferior team seems to win. Now, I don't know who you would call the inferior team in this situation. Would it be the Dolphins or would it be the Chiefs? And neither team has really woke up, so to speak, especially against good teams. So that's going to be a tough one for me to pick. But if I had to pick a gritty team that can grind one out, just because based on they've been there before, it would be the Chiefs. But I'm going to have to look at the injury report and see exactly who's out and who's in. I don't know. Maybe the weather changes even. I'm not sure. That's going to be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So I'm not sure how much the weather will change. But those are your 2 games tomorrow. I'm not going to go into the other games until tomorrow. Maybe even Sunday. But of course, Bill Belichick done in New England. Coaching vacancies. Of course, the Chargers, the Seahawks now. The Falcons, the Commanders, that job seems to be always open. The Raiders. Not sure if they're going to make Antonio Pierce the head coach or not. At this time, the Tennessee Titans, of course, is an open vacancy. That the Cowboys could end up, depending on what happens Sunday afternoon. Cowboys could be open up. The Saints, they're saying Dennis Allen stays. That's just nuts to me. I don't understand that at all. I never got the hire of Dennis Allen. I didn't see him as a great coordinator, yet alone a good head coach. But Saints see something different. I don't see it. Of course, Bill Belichick out there, Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel, the 3 top names right now. Of course, the offensive and defensive coordinators. There's always young guys in Detroit and Houston. They're the hot commodities. You'll have college coaches, names thrown out there. I don't think Lincoln Riley will be one of those, but you never know. Of course, you have Alabama. Nick Saban is gone. Steve Sarkisian has already said he's not going anywhere. You have the name in college, of course, going to the NFL, Jim Harbaugh. He has been mentioned. So He got his national championship, his quarterback going into the NFL. Maybe he goes to the Falcons and says, I'm drafting J.J. McCarthy. Let's roll with the NFL. I'm bringing you along with me. Or, he's not going to go to Chargers and do that because you got Justin Herbert. The Raiders, yeah, maybe. Maybe he goes to the Raiders and says, hey, McCarthy, you're coming with me. That's a possibility. Never thought of that, but that's a possibility. They'd probably love him out there. Commanders, he could do the same thing there. Sam Howell's not solidified. Jacoby Brissett's not solidified. Harbaugh could go to Commanders, say, hey, Jay McCarthy, you're coming with me. Patriots have already announced their new head coach, Gerard Mayo, former star linebacker, played under Belichick, was an assistant coach under him for the last few years. Not a bad hire. I pictured Mike Vrabel. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be Vrabel, hands down, not even close. But I knew Gerard Mayo was a possibility, and that's okay. That's a sensible hire. I could see it working out very well. Of course, they're going to pick a general manager. I'm surprised. Generally, my thought process is you pick your GM and you let them hire the head coach. Is how I would do it if I was an owner. Never going to be an owner. Don't have enough money to be an owner in that league by any means. But how I've seen it always seem to work the best is the GM picks the coach. But, I don't know. Maybe it works out. Just so the general manager knows he's the general manager and he's picking his guy, then his guy can, they can get together and they're on the same page, is my understanding, how I feel about it. But that's just me. I don't know. It might work the opposite. I don't know what the statistics are with that. But I don't know of any other vacancies that have been filled. At this time. The coordinators and all, they might as well not even request the interview until after the playoff games. If Detroit loses Sunday, interview. If Dallas loses, interview, all that stuff. My mind, Dan Quinn, not my ideal coaching candidate. He is a defensive coordinator. I do not think he's a great head coach. But his second tenure might be way better. I thought he did good with the Falcons, but boy, that playoff loss or that Super Bowl loss just woo. I mean, and that was his defense. And one of the best quarterbacks in the league at the time, Matt Ryan, in his prime, and Julio Jones and company. Can't get it out of my head. Don't know if you all can or not, or if you were around for that, but that was one I thought the Falcons were for sure going to win. Would have been their first Super Bowl win. He probably got an extension for another 5 years or more just off that. And boy, they just absolute worst collapse in NFL history. Just one of the worst. When people point to the NFL as rigged, they would point to that game. That's how bad it was. Just the ineptitude and the inability for adjustments and everything else just completely fell apart. But as a defense coordinator, he's top 5 every day. Top 5. As far as a report by Jeremy Fowler of ESPN saying Belichick, not saying he's washed up, but saying he's probably old and outdated, and he's not entirely wrong, but you give Bill Belichick Justin Herbert. You give him, I wouldn't give him the Panthers. That's a complete rebuild, and Bryce Young is done. Nobody's taking him on. Maybe a young coordinator it's their first gig, but yeah, no thanks. You give him, say, Detroit, Dallas, any of those teams, Buffalo, New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, he's winning a Super Bowl. I think he can still win championships with a guy that's like Tom Brady. That's a championship quarterback. But again, Houston Texans, their head coach done a marvelous job, and their GM from what they were a couple years ago. Holy crap. What a turnaround. The Browns, Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year. Joe Flacco to the playoffs. The Chiefs, Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's got some stuff to learn. Not been his best performance. But still like him as a coach. Andy Reid, he's just true and tried. I mean, Mahomes, he's not going anywhere. They need more talent. That is obvious. Kelsey's not getting any younger. Him and his brother are closer to retirement. Another team that could be in play, the Eagles, the Buccaneers, the Lions, the Rams. McVay's not going anywhere. The Steelers, if Tomlin's probably not going anywhere after a 10-7 season and making the playoffs, especially if they beat Buffalo. But, yeah. Green Bay, LaFleur's not going anywhere. Gutekunst going anywhere. It's not a one-owner team, so if it was, they wouldn't have made it past last year. After all that went down with Aaron Rodgers and all. McCarthy's not safe, Mike McCarthy. So, I don't know. Would y'all keep McCarthy if we lose to the Packers? I wouldn't. I'd take Belichick in a heartbeat. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think about the video and all. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and notifications. Once we hit 100, doing a free giveaway. So, peace out, y'all. Love you. See you on the next video.